All right, let's go ahead and check in with that forecast and the changes on the way. So, Brad, you're going to be watching a very specific time frame tomorrow for weather.
Yeah, it's really those evening hours, 4 to 9 p.m. time frame. Now, there could be rain early, but the storms in the evening are the ones we're concerned about. Strong to possibly severe storms Thursday evening, then mountain snow late tomorrow, really into early Friday morning, could last all the way to Saturday. And overall, a cooler, almost colder weekend compared to what we've seen. Out the door tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up to mostly cloudy skies, pretty mild conditions in the 50s. And again, maybe some drizzle or mist. We saw some of that develop tonight with some really light showers moving across the region. Could see more of that. Now, the system we're watching, it's going to be clear to see right here. It's just developing tonight over Arkansas. So we'll have plenty of time to watch as it moves our direction. So during the day tomorrow, the clouds that drizzle early on, notice temperatures climb possibly all the way up into the mid 60s. And after 4 o'clock, you see the rain chances really ramp up. Now, the key part of the severe weather risk tomorrow is just how much warm, humid air can get in here. Because if these storms can be what we call surface based, that means they're feeding off of warm, humid air at the surface and not off the surface, then they could get very tall vertical storms and they could wrap up this wind shear and cause rotating updrafts. Rotating updrafts, you immediately think of tornadoes, obviously, but they also produce strong winds and severe storms, even outside of the tornado risk. So any kind of rotating updraft is going to be a severe storm. Then behind it, the cold air moves in, and yes, that is some snow, which actually could accumulate. So the fuel we look for is, we call it CAPE. We call it thunderstorm fuel to make it easier to understand, but it's basically a combination of humidity and warm air near the surface. Now, there's not a ton of it. Sometimes you don't need a bunch this time of year because the wind energy is so high, but if it stays on the low end, that's good news. If we see this start to trend up tomorrow during the day, then we're going to have some more concerns for a bigger threat for severe storms across our region. And we will, again, have most of the day to watch this. Primary threat, not so much tornadoes now. That could change with an increase in that fuel. Strong winds, flooding, probably our biggest issue, and obviously cloud to ground lightning. If we break it down on the map for you, 1 to 2% tornado chance now. That's pretty low. It's still elevated for this time of year in particular, but the wind threat is around 10 to 15%. So it's definitely a higher risk overall and encompasses most of our viewing area as opposed to those isolated storm chances. Now you see the line, there it is, bowing out there. That to me, that definitely looks like a straight line wind threat. Then on the backside, you see the snow moving in, and that snow could linger all the way into early on Saturday. So the rain chances ramp up tomorrow as we go into the afternoon. Notice by evening they spike up around likely, and then they move down from there. So how much snow could the mountains see? Good news for the ski resorts near the Tennessee line, northwest facing slopes, maybe 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inches above 3,500 feet, and the highest elevations could see 4 to 6 inches of snow. If you break this down by elevations, those areas like Beach, Sugar, Grandfather, Mount Mitchell, and Roan Mountain, over there towards Mount Rogers up in Virginia, those will be the sweet spots for snow this weekend, and it'll be cold enough to make snow, so the resorts will be jam-packed with skiers this weekend. Here's a look at your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. Strong storms tomorrow, mountain snow Friday into Saturday. The cold snap doesn't last long, though. Next week in the 10-day forecast, temperatures return to the 60s.
Wow, quite a turnaround.